Social media has fucked us completely. Like, we've gone to a world where people think if they don't sign their first client in 24 hours or make 10K in their first month of business or make $1 million by the end of the next year, they failed. And for whatever reason, social media and society has made us believe these things. And so oftentimes when we sit here in our bedroom, we feel like a failure and we feel like a loser and we feel like we're doing something wrong, which causes us to overthink and spiral and get into this almost era of complete and utter chaos where you feel like your life is falling apart right in front of you. You have a crisis of meaning and you feel like everything's about to just explode and that you're about to just die and go back to working 9 to 5, never make money. Pause. That's normal. Yeah, that's normal. Now, coming from somebody who hasn't made billions of dollars, I've made a fair share of a good fuck ton of money, okay? But I haven't made billions, okay? And so I'm not like an ultra successful fucking Giga Chad entrepreneur, but I've made good money. Enough to allow myself to travel the world at any given moment in time, anywhere. Like, I've traveled to like 4 different continents over the last 6 months, dropped out of university, quit my 9 to 5, and you get the fucking gist, okay? And I want to let you know that 90% of the time I have no clue what the fuck I'm doing. 90% of the time I feel like my business is going to go under next month. And 90% of the time I'm sitting here thinking, what the fuck? Just want to let you know that. And I promise you, if you ask a lot of other people, they would say relatively similar things. That, we as much as you don't know what the fuck is going on. We just pretend like we do and just know that the only way to get through it, to get through the storm, is to keep moving forward. Okay, it's kind of like bisons. Bisons are actually the only animal in the world who instinctively, when are faced with a snowstorm, walk through the snowstorm rather than away the snowstorm, because they know instinctively that if they walk through the snowstorm, they will get through the other side and go back to the sunshine quicker than if they try and walk away from it. Only animal in the world. And it's much like, it's so true, because if you walk through, you're like getting double the speed because the storm's moving this way and you're moving this way, and so you pass way faster. Whereas if you're like trying to move back and the snowstorm catches up and now you're like further this way, it's a mess, right? It's a mess. And I think it's a sign to us that, like, when we're faced with these challenges, we should walk through them. Also, something I want to let you on is that, like, challenges and like disruptiveness and chaos is growth. Like, we all know, like, growth happens outside the comfort zone, right? When you work out, you go to the gym and your muscles hurt, you're like, woohoo, I'm happy, I'm growing. But yet somehow in business, when like you're faced with these like pains and these issues, you're like, oh my goodness, my life's gonna fall apart, I'm gonna die. You're not. Okay? But like, we forget that, like, that insinuates growth. Like, pain insinuates growth, right? And so when you're going through these trials and tribulations, that's when you're growing. That's when you're learning. That's when you're acquiring the skill sets you need to get to where you want to go. But we think it's wrong because we look at other people on social media and we go, oh my goodness, look at them. They're winning and he's making money and he's this. Yeah, but look at them 5 years ago. Look at them for the past 5 years and look at how much shit they've gone through. They just managed to stick it out and keep walking through the snowstorm. And so I think that I've learned that, like, when shit gets tough, like, just keep doing. There's a really good quote from Sam Altman, which he says that the most successful people he knows have worked on one thing for an extraordinary period of time without any other distractions or giving up. And so there's another good quote from Hormozi, which is that things get good long after they get boring. Things get good long after they get boring. So I promise you, if right now, if you're going through the thick of it, and you're second guessing yourself, and you're not sure if it's going to work, the best thing you can do is just keep walking forward. Put one foot in front of the other, step by step by step by step by step, and eventually you will make it out the other end. I can promise you that. But if you stop walking, or even worse, start walking backwards the way you just came from, or just stand around looking like, oh my God, what do I do? You're never going to get through it. You have to keep pushing and walking through no matter how you feel. So yeah, chaos is normal.